Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wingcat Sports. Today, we're going to do our division guest, talk about the NFC North and where we think the teams will lay out amongst that division. Last year, the Vikings did win the division, winning 13 games and losing 4. A lot of those were very close games. And then you had the Lions, second place, 9-8, won 8 out of their last 10. That was a very good run by them, finishing off the season beating Green Bay in Green Bay. And then the Packers finishing 8-9, almost had the same thing the Lions did, but did not win that final game. And then the Bears at 3-14. I feel the division will be roughly the same, except probably the Lions will win the division this year. Vikings second, Bears third, Packers fourth.
I agree with part of what you said. The Lions hype is real here. Should they win the division? I would say I'm hopeful they should. I do think it's going to come down to them in Minnesota. That's my gut feeling. I think that the Packers are going to be better than people think. You know, they've groomed quarterbacks before. We don't know a lot about Jordan Love. We didn't know a lot about Aaron Rodgers when he replaced Favre. So I'm thinking, of course, Lions win the division, should win the division.
They should, yes.
Minnesota second. I have the Packers third, and the Bears. I don't know. They've been. I just can't. I don't have any faith in them to be a playoff contender this year. The NFC North is going to be competitive. Yeah. I don't know if it'll be the toughest division in football, but it's going to be as more interesting than it has been these past few years. Yeah. It used to be just a division where you had 4 shit teams that nobody gave a crap about. And now, you know, with the hype of the Lions, it seems like a lot of people are going to be paying attention to that division.
Yep.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be very competitive. I think it's hard to even say who is going to come out at top. I mean, certainly when you look at on paper, you're looking at the Lions. They have continuity. Their coaches have been around now for 3 years. They seem to be very organized.
Coach that people like.
Right, and everything is rosy here right now.
Yep.
Don't think the other teams don't see that too. And they're kind of tired of all the Lions hype type thing. But again, we haven't had anybody for 60 years.
Yep.
So
you're right.
You know, I don't know how anyone can get sick of us yet because we haven't even done anything.
Yeah. Besides Thanksgiving, and people tired of seeing us on Thanksgiving, but
I think that's the interesting thing around here is that will we live even close to up to the hype?
Yeah.
I do not count Minnesota out.
Oh.
I do not count any of them. I really think the Bears are going to make a jump. I think the Packers are going to actually not be, like you said. I feel like they're not going to be as bad as people think. I really think Minnesota might be the number 4th team in our division.
There's a chance.
So if I had to go, it would be basically Lions, Bears, Packers, and Vikings, with the Bears and the Packers being very, very close.
Yeah. If I had to say one thing, we already kind of did our Lions prediction. We already know where each of us stand on that.
Yeah,
right?
We're drinking that blue Kool-Aid here in Detroit.
I think the basement for them is 10 wins. Their ceiling is 13 or 14 wins.
I think it's logical. I don't even think it's Kool-Aid. I think it's, you look at how they played last year, you look at the additions they made, and as we said, this is a team much like, I'm not going to compare them to the Patriots, but the Patriots had that continuity every year, same coach, same quarterback. They had the system.
Yes.
Now we are seeing our system. We're seeing our coaches coming back who could have gone on to other places.
Yes, and they decided to stay.
They see something. So this is all very positive right now.
It's
And injuries aside, I think that the Lions should be an 11, 12-win season.
It's so funny how last year with the first 6 to 7 games, we were calling for Dan Campbell's job. We really were.
Yeah.
We were thinking that this guy doesn't have what it takes to be a head coach. He seems lost. His play calling is god awful. He has lost us some games.
Right. And we had a right to.
And he was really getting called out on it, but he just kept saying, I got a plan, believe in it. You don't see what I see in practice. We're getting there. And you just got to be patient. We're Lions fans, most of us, we've been putting up with this for anywhere from 20 to 60 years.
Right.
And
we're
not patient, but we see now what he was talking about.
Yeah. And they have been basically getting rid of those people who aren't going to be part of this. And just seeing, you got to evaluate. You got to go through a period where you say, well, this guy's going to fit, this guy's not. That quarterbacks go Aubrey Pleasant. Once he left, our defense got a lot better.
Yep.
I don't know what the reasoning was, or what, if he just didn't mesh, or they weren't on the same page. Something changed about midway. We were calling Aiden Hutchinson a bust halfway through the season, and then he, like I said, he started getting it. And you got to give these guys some time, to develop a little bit.
I told you guys that all last year.
I'm expecting a huge year out of Aleem McNeil. I think Aleem McNeil is going to be in his third year. That guy looks trimmed down. The guy looks like he's got it. And he has it up here. He has the right mentality. He works hard. His work ethic is great. And I'm expecting big things out of him. And I think people are going to be very surprised how good our defensive line is this year.
It will be improved.
I'm looking forward to, since we've gone a little off track here, we were supposed to be talking about.
Well, we'll go down in division. It's fine.
North predictions, but we have. But as far as the Lions go, I'm looking really forward to seeing what James Houston can continue. I really do. I know what to expect out of Aiden Hutchinson, and so he knows what to expect out of himself. But it's guys like him. And I was just telling Hal before we got on here that I think James Houston has the potential to be better than Aiden Hutchinson.
He could be.
I think he's quicker. We'll see. He doesn't get the name recognition, and just guys like him. Broderick Martin, he could take Bugs's position of what I'm hearing. He's a big guy, and those are the guys that I want to see.
And that would be a very good line.
I hope we see him in Kansas City.
Well, what are your impressions of the Chicago Bears this year?
We're going to go down, so we could go to
their
the Bears.
Offensive line is better. They got better receivers.
I think
Justin Fields is going to be better.
They got DJ Moore to help Justin Fields. It's just, can Justin Fields get the ball to his wide receivers? We know he can run. We know he can get out of the pocket and run. But can he throw the ball?
He certainly has a strong arm.
I see the Bears between 5 and 7 wins.
Yeah.
They could win 5, they could win 7.
Their defense is a little shaky, but yeah. I'm looking around 7 wins. I think maybe even more. Like I said,
they could get lucky and win 8.
I think I want to see Justin Fields on an offense that really is there geared to help him, not just by running him to death, which is what they did last year. He had no choice. This year it needs to be more of a people around him helping, and then him, exploiting that, giving him room to get out there. You can't. It's very hard to be a running quarterback in this league.
Well, you had no choice
for a good amount of time.
Their offensive line was god awful,
right?
And he was basically, here was the game plan in the Chicago locker room last year. Hey, Justin, you're going to have to run for your life, or
that's our game. Run for your life.
Run for your life. He did that against Detroit.
Okay,
he ran a good amount against Detroit, and that's why I think that will be the scapegoat to why they might win some more games than they did last year, because they did improve from how they did last year, but they didn't improve enough. And if somehow Justin Fields has worked on his accuracy, they could be a very good opponent for the Lions within the division, potentially fighting for the division.
Right.
When it comes to the Packers, I think they're roughly around the same spot. They're not really going to be better than the Bears, but they would probably be equivalent to the Bears. Unless Jordan Love comes out of nowhere.
That's their big question.
And they get their third straight,
which is a possibility,
miracle quarterback.
Yep.
I think
we don't know.
I think not having Aaron Rodgers around, the guy was a Hall of Fame quarterback. You can't deny that.
Probably makes that locker room a little easier.
But I think the last few years have been really rough having Aaron Rodgers around. I don't know if his focus has been and I'm not saying it hasn't been because I'm sure he's a competitor, but he hasn't. It hasn't been a team first thing. It's been about him.
Yeah.
This year, the Packers are back to being a team. There's no egos. There's no thing. They have a good defense, a good running game, some weapons on offense. And if Jordan Love can just be, and he's a mobile quarterback. I mean, if he could just be a guy who can get the ball to the right people at the right time.
Being Christian Watson,
I think people are going to be very surprised by the Packers.
And remember, Jordan Love has one less NFC championship than Aaron Rodgers and one less Super Bowl.
Yeah,
well,
I mean, that's it. I mean,
but Aaron Rodgers has owned this division for the last 15 to 20 years, whatever how long.
Except for last year.
But
we have a 3-game win streak on the Packers. They haven't beat us since 20.
My dream scenario is that we end up playing the Jets in the Super Bowl. That's what I would love to see.
That'd be interesting. That'd be fun.
I can't even
as a Lions and Jets fan.
I can't think.
Wouldn't that be fun watching us play Aaron Rodgers?
I can't think that.
His last game in Green Bay, and then the best scenario would be in the Super Bowl to give him a career-ending knee injury and take him out. And win.
That's late.
No more Rodgers. No, I shouldn't say that. That's not.
That's so mean.
Late hit.
Carry him off on a stretcher.
Yeah. Late hit every game.
And then last on our list, right, the Vikings. I could see the Vikings winning 10 games. I could see them winning 8 games. It could go either way.
The Vikings are the only team in our division, by consensus. I mean, you listen to everybody, even their own pundits. They're the only team in the division that did not improve.
No.
They actually digressed a little bit.
In fact, they digressed.
They lost Dalvin Cook.
They lost their best running
back.
That's
huge.
And the problem is Justin Jefferson might not even be staying in Minnesota once his contract's up.
Yeah.
So they might be getting worse.
Just like running backs, they want to be paid too, and people don't want to pay him the money.
Right.
What's his salary right now?
Well, he's on his rookie deal, so whatever.
Oh, yeah. He's going to be commanding upwards of $20 million a year.
Yeah, so.
Right.
But the Vikings are going to be a team that either could give us a lot of problems. I do think we will be fighting them for the division. But at the same time, things could go completely wrong for the Vikings, and they will be completely out of the division halfway through the year.
Well, they're known for shooting themselves in the foot.
Last year, they got lucky. They won... I think 9 or 10 games.
I
less than a touchdown.
Yeah.
So they got lucky.
I look at that team.
That Buffalo game, they got gifted.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean.
Oh, the Lions game that they beat, the one they beat us in Minnesota, they got gifted.
Well, the dead Dan Campbell.
Well, there was that roughing the passer call.
Christmas wrapping and handed it to him.
The roughing the passer call on the 4th and goal that they gave Minnesota.
Right.
Right. There's moments in some games that they got lucky.
And their quarterback is a year older, so
he
might be out of Minnesota soon too.
Well, he's 35, 36.
Once he's gone, I don't think he'll be. If he leaves Minnesota, there's no other path for him. It's pretty much retirement for him.
So, but overall, I think we all think the Lions will win the division for the first time in.
Yeah, we're being biased here. I mean, well, no,
that's the national.
It is. It's the expectation because last year, the year before that, leading up to this season, we would never say that. We say they're not going to make the playoffs.
And have any of you seen the commercial yet?
No.
The game?
No, we have not.
You've not? Oh my God, it's so cool. But Dan Campbell's our star.
Does it show Patrick Mahomes being carried off with a groin injury?
No. Of course, it's just they got the. It starts out with Aerosmith's back in the saddle, and it's great. It's a really cool commercial, actually. It got me all jacked.
We will hope the Lions will win, right?
Aiden Hutchinson blows his ACL.
But hopefully they win that game.
Well, like I said, that's football, really. That's what we have.
Jared Goff, broken arm.
We have heard injuries play a huge part in your success.
Yes.
That old adage of next guy up is just a bunch of crap.
Yep, and no team is going to stay healthy.
You got to have depth. I understand that, but You can't lose the big.
I hope our
you
running
can't lose
backs-
the quarterback. We can't lose Goff.
I hope our running backs, unlike DeAndre Swift, stay healthy and can play a full season.
Yeah.
We have depth for the first time in quite a while. I'm not even worried about Mosley. I don't know if he'll play or when he'll play.
But
He
you're
certainly
good back
not-
there
Doesn't look
because
like
Branch was looking good, so you're
right,
fine.
and he certainly doesn't.
Did he
look,
get an ACL?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he got a
It
little
certainly
cleanup
doesn't
surgery
look like he's
a few
gonna-
weeks ago.
gotcha.
That's why he's
He's
still
not
out.
going to be back for the first game. So
Probably not. But like, hopefully they win that first game. We will be making that trip
And
down
we'll
to
get to
Kansas
see
City.
him. We'll get to see him next Friday night
that's right.
Oh yeah, with
against who?
the Giants.
The Giants.
We'll start our preseason games.
It's the
Oh.
Nate Sudfeld
As we
era.
make our trip down to Kansas City, I will be posting stuff on Instagram from our trip, so make sure to follow us on Instagram too. If you like what you see, leave a like, follow, and subscribe to the channel, comment, and share the video. And until next time, hope to see everybody soon.